Well, what are we doing here? I think one of them got away, right? Where's the shadowy one? Riven, whatever the hell your name is.
Yo.
What happened with the one you ran off after you get away?
Teleported.
Teleported. Damn.
Teleported. Hit him, but he teleported.
Wow.
Is he down that tunnel?
What?
Is there anything interesting down that tunnle, or it's just a tunnel?
It's a tunnel. It opens up on the end, and then he teleported. I didn't really stick around to take too much of a look.
That seems reasonable.
With the party being separated and Karma being sleepy.
Well, should we explore that tunnel, or it looks like there's two other ones that go off?
Well,
So what can we see in this area just by being here?
Okay. Looking around and looking down that area, let me pull up to my DM screen real quick. Okay, so looking around, as you approach a little bit farther into the cavern, and look, you are able to see the end of a little outcropping in this area. Absolutely, the cave just extends a little bit farther, and then ends. There's a few stalactites that are there in that area. You see what appears to be kind of a shimmering, almost kind of glistening thread-like substance on the far wall of it.
Where? I want to go to it.
It's right over here. Yeah. As you get over there, you realize that as you take a few steps, as you approach and get closer to it, your feet start sticking to the ground, and it's taking actual effort to try and lift your foot off the ground.
Riven, don't.
At that point.
What did I just do?
What do you see?
What do I see?
You currently see a lot of very glistening, as you are now being able to tell, very sticky thread-like substance as you
I'd
are
like to
pressing.
look up.
Make a perception.
What do I see above
Make a
me?
perception check, looking above. Make a perception check, you bastard. All right.
Riven, I
Oh, that's good. I just rolled a natural 19 with my perception of high 7. That's 26.
Looking up, you see slight movement on the ceiling above you, and then on the wall directly in front of you, because the cavern extends a good solid 50, 60 feet straight up in the air, or straight up. You see a little bit of movement. From above you. As your gaze comes back down along the wall, you see some more movement off to your left, a little bit more movement off to your right, as from what you can tell, this large, almost insect-like body seems to be crawling across the wall. It disappears real quick behind into an outcropping in the wall. You take a look again. As you're looking about, that's basically what you see at that point. So
Yeah, I'm gonna back the fuck out of there.
all right,
How far can I get back?
you can probably get back about
You punish me.
probably get back about 10 feet. Before all of a sudden
Light it
there's
up, Clarissa. Light it up.
before all of a sudden
Fire
dropping
everywhere.
right down in front of you is a large gigantic spider-looking creature. Everyone please roll initiative.
What the fuck is that?
Oh my god.
I made a mistake. Mistakes were made.
Shadow Man.
What did
I
I
told
get
you
for
so.
Shadow and stealthing everything. Stealth all the time.
All right.
It wouldn't have mattered.
It probably wouldn't have mattered. They're spiders. I fucking hate spiders.
All right. Let's check and see what we got for initiative, and let's pull up that game board. because we got some initiative going on tonight. Hell yeah. Alright.
Make the world on fire, child.
Alright, so zoom on in. Alright. Alright, let's see who we got. Alright, so starting out the round, let's see, we have. Alright, let's see. We got a mural rolling at 15. That's sexy 15 right there.
I'm first up.
Nope. I'm just getting names. Mural with that 15. Clarissa with that 14. Riven with that 13. Salix with the 12. And Karma with the 10. And let's roll for Brea and for Tyrion. Brea rolls a 15. That's for Dex modifiers. That would be 16 to 18, so that's 18. And Tyrion rolls a 4. So we'll say
Of course.
we'll say 8 for Tyrion. Okay, top of the round, we have top of the round. You see the spider. You see this hulking spider directly in front of you. You then also see behind Riven another two figures start moving down off the wall, slowly moving down to the ground at that point. All right. This one is going to turn and attack. Is going to attack Riven as it's the first one that it saw. Doesn't really matter in the total end.
Because I'm between them.
This one's going to move up here, and then this one is going to skirt around its edge over here and attack Karma. So, all right, let's go. All right, so first attacks. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 to hit for you, Riven. From the first one.
Disadvantage.
Oh, thank you for the 21 to hit with disadvantage
That's still gonna hit me.
because it rolled a 16 for that. So that's one hit and yeah, 16 for the other one. So that's all right. So and so Riven, as you see this giant spider directly in front of you, it lets out a sound, and you end up trying. You see it lunge for you, but you're not fast enough to be able to duck out of the way. Its pincers grab onto your leg, digging deep and bypassing the robes that you normally wear, dealing a total of 7 points of piercing damage. You need to make a Constitution saving throw, by the way.
Of course I do. $15.
Yep. So as the pincers sink into your upper thigh, you feel your heartbeat and you feel the poison pulse throughout your body, but you're able to shrug it off. The other one, as you backtrack, you hear the sound of another spider coming up behind you. This time you're ready for it. You end up kind of pole vaulting over it as the spider goes under. Not pole vaulting, but basically take your hand, you slam it down onto the spider's head. You end up being able to bounce back off over it. Karma, this one is going to attack you. Rolls 16 versus AC.
Hits.
All right. You do also take a total of 28. There we go.
I'm on Kenny dodge on this, so half.
Okay, so you take You take 11 points of damage, half down to 6. Oh, for the love of shit, fuck, really?
And then Constitution,
Oh yeah, go ahead and make your Constitution save.
18.
Yeah. So as you feel the poison pulse throughout your body, you also are able to shrug it off just in time. No effect it seems to have at all on you. So, this
And
brings
he also has advantage on poison, by the way, for Karma.
yeah, due to her mural doing the thing. Hold it back down here. Here. Okay, this brings us to Brea's turn. Brea seeing really why. I'm messing with my DM screen. Alright, so Brea, seeing this, is going to move up here. She's going to move here, just above the dead guy. And she is going to cast from her... she's going to cast from her Staff of Fire. She's going to cast Burning Hands onto it. And... Actually, no, that's a lie. She's not going to do it. She's going to move up here, so she's directly next to it. Then she's going to cast Burning Hands. Then she's going to cast Burning Hands upon this guy. And each creature within a 15-foot cone must make a Dexterity saving throw. So... yep, Ryven, you'll need to make a Dexterity saving throw. For this.
That's fine. That's like one of the few things I'm good at.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Yeah. 26.
26. Yeah, you're able to dodge. You're able to dodge quickly out of the way as you see Brea rush up behind the spider. You're like, oh god. As you know, your magic users seem to have some tendency to use a lot of fire. Not sure why, but they do. Brea ends up dealing a total of 3d6 damage to the spider. Ooh, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 points of damage to that spider. That's as the fire increases around her hand. Fire spreads out from her hand. It just ends up enveloping the entire backside of the spider, leaving a nice burn mark on its back thorax. It lets it out and turns around and is now very aware of her presence as well. So this brings us to Emerald. You're up. Emerald, you are up.
Bear form right off the bat.
Bear form. Heyo. Okay, go in bear form. Looks like we get a bear. Alright, nope, you right there. And we will give this to Mural. Controlled by you. Face. Save changes. And you are right there, so you're gone. Okay, cool. You now have bear form. Go.
Multi-attack at the guy in front of me.
Sweet. Go for it.
21 for the bite and 15 for the claw.
Both significantly hit. Yes, go for it. As you see Emerald's shape transform or like just shift immediately into like this giant bear, Emerald ends up pushing forward and ends up sinking both claws and teeth into the spider.
7 points on the bite and 7 points on the claws.
Minus 14. All right.
Yep.
So as you
6
as you end up rearing and slashing the claws, you feel them sink past the spider's natural armor, dealing just raking it across. You end up actually slicing off 4 of its 8 legs as it lets out a horrific scream before while standing on its remaining 4 legs collapses to the ground. You see the eyes darting around for a second, and then they all go still. All right, this brings
That's
us.
my turn.
All right, cool. This brings us to Clarissa.
So,
Go for it.
first and foremost, Clarissa's going to turn into the bear that Emerald just turned into and say, hey there, how'd that spider taste? I've always wanted to try it. And then, without waiting for a response, she's going to turn and cast Firebolt on this guy.
Go for it.
So that's 18 to hit.
18 will hit. Go. Yep. Go ahead and roll damage.
And 9 points of fire damage.
Nice. So, as you take a second, you flick your wrist, and a small bead of red energy just goes pew, right, slamming directly in front of directly into the spider. It lets out a sound as fire just explodes around it, dealing how much you said?
9 points of fire damage.
Nice. 9 fires so far. You see the fire. You see the fire begin to slowly lick up its leg before going out. But it definitely looks hurt. Definitely looks like it is in some pain right now, though.
And then with my movement, she's just gonna step behind the big, safe-looking bear.
Nice. Sounds good. All right. This brings us to Mr. Ryben.
I'm gonna turn to this one. That is. And make my 2 attacks with my short sword. Uh, 23.
23. That'll hit.
Yes. 6. Roll the 1.
6
Oh, my
points.
damage.
6 points of damage. Oh man.
6 points of damage. And then. Yeah, 'cause it's 5. And then my second attack. 19.
Yep, that'll hit.
Alright. That's better. 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Yeah, nice.
He's
So-
still kicking.
So as you take your short sword and end up running up to it, you end up taking your short sword. You flick it once, foomp, you lop off the front 2 legs. It goes to make a bite towards you. You end up seeing the attack coming. You swipe at it again. End up actually taking off one of its pincers. It lets out a as it tries to skirt away from you a little bit more. Nicely done, good sir.
But is it still kicking?
It is still kicking, but it's looking rough. It's looking pretty rough.
Then I would like to use my bonus action to make an melee strike against it.
Go for it.
Okay. Just this is a single melee strike.
Yep, go for it.
Not my double. 17?
17 will hit.
Yeah. That's still a D6. I think
Nice,
it's
good for it.
D6 for arms now. 10 points of damage.
All right. So as you see it skirting back, and as you see the blood, you end up rushing forward, and you, with your offhand, take your fist, basically slam it directly into the where you see the spider's head at, or like its beady eyes at. If a spider's eyes could widen, you would swear they did, as your fist just goes slamming directly into the face and ends up actually and you feel it give. You feel it hold for a second, and then it just gives as your fist continues through the spider's hard exterior, going directly into some very squishy brain matter, from what you can tell. You pull your hand out, the spider crumples to the ground dead. Your hand slightly covered in spider brain, from what you can tell.
feet. And then I want to use my movement to come up behind this last one.
Go for it.
And that's it.
Yep, go for it. Salix, you're up.
It's my turn.
Okay, I'm gonna scoot. Can I move through Emerald or Brea?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna make an attack against the spider with judgment.
Go for it.
It's not. It doesn't have to be an undead spider, does it?
This thing looks very, very much alive.
Thought I'd try. 20?
Yeah, I'll hit.
Pathetic 4 points of damage.
Are you adding your strength modifier to this, out of curiosity?
Yep.
Oh god.
1d6 plus 2.
Yeah, that'd be it.
How much damage?
4.
So you rolled a 2. That's
2. Okay.
So as you take judgment, you go boom. It ricochets off one of the it slams into one of the legs. You feel the kind of give, but it holds sturdy there for a second. As you back off, you feel it like you see a little bit of blood start trickling down, but that's about it. All right, this brings us to Karma. You're up.
All right, I'm gonna pull up Valyrian Legacy and
Where
take
you're
a swipe at
The
him.
hell are you? Oh, you're right on top of it. Okay, go for it.
Yep. 18 plus 6, 24.
That'll hit.
Sneak attack. Friends?
It is because you have a couple people in melee with you.
Because Fred.
Cause melee.
19 points.
Shit. So as you that's just with that's with your Valyrian Legacy.
Yes.
Okay. As you run up, you take your dagger. You seeing where the middle of its body is, and you take it. You slam it directly into the middle of the body. You end up trying to run past it as you take your dagger and just carve a good long gash along the side of its body. Blood starts pouring out of it, and it turns around looking at you. It's still alive, but looking pretty rough.
Okay, then offhand, my bonus action, I'll take that +1 short sword and take spring.
Go for it.
20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
I get to roll a d6 for something that's not a dagger. This is awesome. 7.
All right, 7 points of damage. Nice. So as the spider's like staring you down, you see the blood gash. You see the blood gash that you just dug into it. You end up jumping up in the air. You take your actually, I can ask you, how do you want to do this?
Yeah, pretty much I was thinking the same thing. I'm just
Okay,
gonna
cool.
jump up with like the short sword, like holding it instead of forward, I'm gonna hold it like backwards, kind of like I would a big dagger, and just slam it right through his-
You can try. So as you jump up in the air, you end up actually putting your dagger. You actually end up putting Valyrian Legacy back into your belt of daggers. You end up taking the short sword. You fling it around. You jump up in the air. You end up bringing it down so the blade, so the hilt is facing facing kind of in line with your body. The blade facing directly down. As you come down, landing directly on the back of the spider. The blade sinks in all the way up to the hilt. The spider lets out a very horrible scream, and as it crashes to the ground,
Sweet.
completely dead.
I'm gonna turn to Riven and be like, I like this sword. Very calmly.
So now that they having defeated the spiders, proud of you guys. Having defeated the spiders, you take a second, breathe, look around. There appears to be nothing else moving in this main area that you're at, apart from the giant bear that is currently sitting in behind your party. Ugh, excuse me.
Karma. These things are poisonous. Maybe we could try and harvesting some.
I was thinking the same
Venom.
thing.
There's more than enough.
Hang on. Before we do that, before we do anything, here's the nest that you somehow managed to discover, so I can set it on fire.
Shiny things at the end of the hall.
Looking about, Clarissa, you see like a lot of spider webs, pretty much covering the entire back wall of this little kind of outlet chamber. You look up in the ceiling. That's a good solid 60 feet above you. You see once again spider webs just encasing the entire this entire area. Like it is like all like very sticky, very kind of shiny, and whatever little light you guys are producing. That's what you currently see at this point in time.
Is there anything worth taking?
If you want to harvest things, you can.
Well, I mean, like, yes, I want to do that, but also, like, I don't know, left behind goodies from victims.
They're spiders.
But the things the spiders ate, they might have
Make an investigation check. Make an investigation check. Just make an investigation check.
13.
God. What was that?
13.
Looking about, you see something shining on the ground about 15 feet away from you.
Oh, God. Back towards that wall?
Back towards the wall, yep.
Okay. Yeah, anybody else? There's a shiny thing on that wall down there where the spiders came out of. Do as you will with that information.
Let's see what happened last time we went that direction, Ryven.
Do as you will with that information. Light the world on fire, child.
Yeah, you all got about 15 seconds before I start chucking firebolts at the biggest clusters of these spider webs. So if you want that thing, you better go get it now.
I don't want that thing that much.
You see Brea slowly start backing away as soon as Clarissa says about to start lighting this shit on fire. You see her back away, back up, says, "I'm not trying to get burned, and the amount of gold is worth Clarissa burning me."
Clarissa, before you start lighting everything on fire over here, let's try and harvest as much as we can from these dead spider thingies.
Okay, but make it snappy. I don't want to deal with more of these things.
Sweet. All right.
Big or squishy.
All right.
So,
Karma and Ryven, if you were both trying to get stuff off it, I would suggest making nature checks.
nature checks. I am not good at this.
I rolled a 5.
I rolled a 5 as well.
Think about so over the next 15 to 17 minutes, you start hearing this very annoying little tapping in the back, like it starts to echo around the cave as Clarissa's just standing there with her arms folded and her foot just tapping against the stone as both of you, taking daggers or some form of finesse instrument that you care to use, start trying to look over the spider's anatomy. You're like, okay, these are the fangs. I think that's probably where some of the poison is held. You take your dagger, you end up basically jamming it into the mouth of it, and you just end up making a whole mess of just like extra blood and just. Like you find a little sack that you're like, ooh, that might work. All of a sudden, and as you're trying to cut it out, your dagger slips and the entire sack just completely erupts all over the spider.
Is that a leg right there? I think that's a leg. Ryven, is this a leg?
I'm just going about, that Harry Potter thing where you're just like twitching the fangy things. That's what I'm doing.
Nice.
All right.
So
light it up, Clarissa. Once we back up.
Oh. Are you quite finished, Professor Karma?
Sorry. Hey, I've never done this before.
Because I can only assume that you both have doctorates in arachnology after all your time spent with our lovely spider friend.
They have fangs.
I think I found a leg.
Oh, good lord. Step back, and then Clarissa's going to chuck a couple firebolts, just like aim for the biggest clusters of spider webs, I guess. Just like one or two.
That's fantastic. That's great.
That's what I'm doing.
That's perfect. I love it.
Oh, yeah, I'm backing
He's
up
doing
behind
that. Harry, Ryvan's just sitting there, or just like wandering around, just doing the Harry Potter thing. Just, it's great.
It's in our group, mate, if you guys go look at it. It's fine.
Oh my god.
And they call us adventurers.
I'm not a clever man.
Okay.
All right, light it up, Carissa.
Alright, set stuff on fire.
What are you using?
Firebolt, just the cantrip.
Just
and I'm
cantrip
just
level?
chucking sort of one straight above me, one into like this back part of the wall here. One like over.
Brea steps up right next to you, and you see her holding a large staff that she has seemingly produced out of kind of out of thin air. Although you know that it's like her staff that she normally like she has in her bag of holding. Looking at it now, it's a very, very beautiful, like the entire handle and main portion of the staff is a very beautiful, like rich, almost like cherry red wood that is very beautifully polished. There's gold inlay that it actually wraps in a very long spiral around the entire grip of the staff. At the top of it, there is what looks to be almost like a lantern type mechanism or type structure at the very top of it that has like different little slits in it all the way around in a circle, and two what appear to be very steel blades that are not encasing, but are on either side of the lantern. And she says, she looks down at you, Clarissa, and says, "Would you like some help with that?"
Yeah, sure. That's a rather nifty staff. I guess I never looked close enough at it.
She twirls it.
Yeah. All right.
She twirls it around once, slams it, the butt of it into the ground, and stands there and concentrates. You see the lantern portion begin to light up and begin to glow as it starts to glow really red and really bright orange and red hot. The lantern seems to like light up, and appearing in between the two blades that are actually above the lantern is about a golf ball or fist size orb of like flickering red orange light that you can see. And she just kind of looks down at you and says, "Right when you are."
All right. You go that way, and Clarissa points to the right, and I'll go this way. Clarissa points to the left, and then starts chucking firebolts at the wall of spiderwebs to her left.
All right. As Brea stands there and concentrates, the fist size orb goes streaking straight in front of her, and slams into the wall. There's a concussionist as the fist-sized ball erupts into about a 20-foot in diameter, just explosion all around in this area. The spider bodies are incinerated, or this one is completely incinerated. Foop. And this one, half of it just goes bye-bye. As Clarissa just is constantly chucking firebolts on the cantrip level, the spiderweb all around seems to be destroyed and seems to be just absolutely nowhere. Eventually, it's just what looks and appears to be very burnt rock, and there's a slight smell of burning spider now pervading and coming throughout the entire cavern.
Yeah. Well, that was rather impressive, Brea. You made short work of that.
Well, I try. Got this nifty staff from Sam as last time we were there. seems to be quite useful. And since you seem to be
Yeah, didn't it
fairly
cost- Didn't it cost like 2,000 gold or something ridiculous like that?
yeah.
Oh, that's right. You have money. Never mind then.
Helps having
all
a
right.
father in the trade business.
Yeah,
Even though he's not around a lot, toys are still fun.
true enough. True enough. All right, group. Spiders shouldn't be a problem. Does anybody else want to blunder into another battle, or can we continue investigating?
Can I see if the shiny thing's still there?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
At the foot, I'm kind of just curious. $22.
All right.
17.
Walking over to where you think you saw the shiny thing, you bend down. You have to kind of brush away a little bit of soot and a little bit of some other stuff. A little bit of soot and a little bit of soot and kind of clear away some of the ash that was left over. You bend down and you're able to, after about minute and a half of searching, you're able to find a single gold coin that is laying on the ground.
That's mine.
Worth.
Totally worth it. 52.
52. Nice enough.
Salix wants to pick up that rock that he cast light on like half an hour ago.
Yep.
You can land it over here somewhere. I want to pick it up and I'm going to hurl it down this hallway.
Okay.
He's gonna walk back.
Ends
Ends
up-
that one gold coin.
Ends up just clattering down. Lights up the entire area. It leads to a small alcove that kind of bends backward into that ends up bending backward. I'll just reveal it right now. Ends up bending back. As you're walking down, it ends up bending off to your left hand side. As you guys.
How high is the ceiling?
The ceiling in this area is still about 60. From looking up, you being a human, you end up having to like kind of take the light stone and chuck it up in the air as hard as you can. The light stone illuminates and then comes back down. From what you can tell, about 60, 70 feet up, roughly. Seems about the same as the rest of the cavern.
I see Carmen next to me. Hey, think we should peek around that corner?
I'll take a look. And I'll first go stealth before I go and take a look around the corner, because why not?
Stealth check.
That's more like it on the second try. 24. No, 28.
You feel like you're stealthy.
All right, so
As
I'll peek around.
has Karma like gets up against the wall and just slowly shimmies along the wall. You look down. From what you can see with your dark vision, the cavern appears to just kind of go and eventually just ends. Ends up doubling back on itself. You're looking around. You see the remnants of what appears to be a small circle of stones in the middle of this area. In the middle of this area, you see what appears to be some just other. What appears to be just some very matted ground, from what you can tell.
All right. I guess I don't have. It's clear, Salix. You can come forward. There's nothing up here. It's like an old campfire.
I want to cast light on my shield and just walk forward.
Okay, you do such. Walking forward, the light illuminates the entire cavern. Illuminates this little kind of alcove that you guys are in. You find a circle of stones in the middle. You find some very like kind of very padded down, about 4 or 5 different padded down areas of earth in this area. Almost they seem to be kind of long, about almost like what a human or elven size would be roughly. The remnants of what appear to be a campfire appear to be there, but it looks like it's been put out and has been long put out for quite a long time.
Is there anything worth taking?
Hey, DJ's in.
Hello.
Hello, good sir. How are you?
Hey, okay. Very well. Sorry for the latest.
No, you're fine, dude.
Please continue.
We're still making it out of the main cavern that you guys were in last time.
Oh.
You almost died, by the way.
We didn't.
We didn't even get to your
One got hit.
turn. We didn't even get to your turn in the first round of combat.
Like,
Put it that way.
I believe it. Continue on. I will play catch up.
Looking around, it appears to be the remnants of an old campground or camping area, from what you can tell, Salix.
Okay. Nothing of interest.
Doesn't look like it. It looks like everything that they had has been picked up and packed up. Just looks like there's the remnants of campfire and some padded down earth, from what you can tell.
Well, nothing this way. I guess it leaves only one tunnel to follow.
Let's go get them.
What? Oh, there was nothing over here? I'll walk back this way.
Nothing for you to set on fire, sorry.
Unfortunately not.
But I like fire.
So,
do we just want to barrel our ways down this, or do we want to set up a...
Maybe sneak. Maybe scout.
Emerald, why are you still a bear?
Are you a sneaky bear?
I'll take that as I like spider tacos.
What?
Well said. All right, so Riven, let's go check it out, should we?
stealth.
Make a group
Yes.
stealth check, if you would be so kind.
Group stealth check.
Yes.
What? Hell?
No, I'm not putting out Kai for that.
No.
Especially since, I mean, granted, guys, I mean, we can stealth, but he teleported away. You can only assume they know we're here.
Oh, yeah, they definitely know we're here.
But they
Guys,
don't
be
know
careful, though.
exactly where we are.
Natural 1. Clang, 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 clang.
Loud noises.
I'm so sneaky.
We even have a motherfucking stealthy bear with an 18 roll. Good God. That's ridiculous. Alright. So,
And that's with a no plus.
So,
stealth roll.
for the
Feel a little
as
embarrassed.
you guys are moving, as you guys begin moving forward down this very, very narrow tunnel, you see that it begins to slope down and slopes down and just continues to slope down. As you're walking, you hear Salix's armor kind of like seems to be kind of ka-king as he's walking down the tunnel, and it seems to be very echoey from what you can tell. But for the most part, you seem like you kind of tell him he tries to start walking a little slower and walking a little bit lighter, but still almost probably a little louder than you're probably wanting it to be. But for the most part, you guys feel fairly stealthy. As you continue to walk forward, you down this path, you do find yourself following about half an hour into your journey down this sloping tunnel. You find a place where a stream of water begins to kind of form on the side of where you guys are walking, and it eventually continues just to flow down, continues to be flowing downward. Eventually, after about 3 more hours of walking down this tunnel, you eventually see those up in front eventually see the stream and notice that the stream starts to pick up speed a little bit more. It seems to be moving a little bit faster. As you look forward, you see a opening, and it appears to be an opening, and there almost seems to be a shimmer of light coming from beyond it.
Think that's Drow Town?
You guys are about, I want to say probably about 100 yards away from the opening at the moment in time.
How long has it been?
It's been about 2.5 hours at this point.
To get down there? That means I'm back to normal form.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good thing I decided not to ride on your back. That would have been awkward.
And yet, still not the most awkward thing you've ridden on.
Very true.
Thanks for a second. Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's the plan here?
Well, I
Scout
could
team.
always just chuck fire through the door, but having Karma arrive and sneak up and take a peek at what's actually out there is probably better.
Yeah,
How
let's-
far away is it from us?
About 100 yards from where you can tell. You can stealth forward if you want to.
How... Whisper to Karma, what's the range on your little earring thing?
I don't know. I
Oh.
mean, I was out like
I
around
remember.
40 yards in front of you guys in the tunnel, so at least go that far.
Let's test this out. Go all the way up there.
Okay.
Stealth!
DM, before we go up, this little journey, was that enough to get technically a short rest so I can roll 1 hit die?
A short rest is if you are like actually sitting down, resting, kind of like licking your
Okay.
wounds, bandaging yourself. This is like you're actively moving, you're actively traveling.
Okay.
Throughout that time, so unfortunately,
That's
not.
fine. All right, so
You healed
let's.
a little bit last week, by the way, with some.
What was that?
I healed Karma a little bit last week with
Yeah.
Channel Divinity.
Yeah, I was good after last week. I got hit by the spider that last time, and
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I mean,
me
so
too.
it doesn't hurt like a lot. It's just enough to. I'd like to heal up a little bit. Well, anyway, let's go
Yeah,
forward, Ivan.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
I got hit too, and granted, I have way more life than you.
Mhm.
Alright,
Alright.
so can we roll a separate stealth check to
Yeah,
break
this
away
is a
from
separate
Marty?
stealth. This is a separate stealth check for the two that are pressing forward.
And the Clang Master back there?
I am the stealthiest cleric.
The Master Clanger.
21.
Okay.
25.
All right.
52.
Okay. As you two
I
stealth,
may have
as you two
rolled
stealth
more
ahead,
dice than were necessary.
as Ryven and Karma end up stealthing ahead, kind of telling the others to stay behind them. You guys end up getting about. Are you guys going right up to the tunnel, or are you guys just slowly getting there? Like how are you doing this?
I'm slowly going forward.
Yeah,
I'm also
So
I'm
we're
also
kinda-
speaking. I'm also speaking with Salix from time to time, just being like test, and just waiting to make sure that I hear a response from him. Just let me kind of gauge the.
I'm
I'm
It's,
not
it's Clarissa who.
I'm looking intently off to where they're going and seeing if Clarissa hears anything.
So about from what you guys can tell, Karma, when you get about probably around the 90 to 95 range, Clarissa, you like every few minutes you keep hearing this like test. Karma, once you get to about the 95 range, you say test, and Clarissa, you hear est.
Oh. Hey guys, however far away he is now, thereabouts, he's getting really unclear.
Do we
Alright, so-
stop?
Are you guys stopping at the edge of the tunnel? What are you guys doing?
I'm following him. He's the one who's got it.
Karma, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna.
You guys are right now. Both of you are like about 10 yards away from the from this opening that you can see.
All right, let's. I want to. Can I kind of roll like perception to see what's up there? Or
Yeah, this would be a perception. Roll a perception check.
Can I do that too because I'm there?
Yeah, nice to go for it. Or, I mean, Ryven,
Okay,
go for
I
it.
was like,
Sorry.
can I help to perceive?
Yeah, both of you can. Both of you can perceive.
Oh, that's not good.
16.
15.
Okay. All right. So looking ahead and looking through the through this opening that you guys can see, it's a fairly wide opening. It's about 5 feet by probably about 8 or 9 feet from what you can tell. Looking through it, you can see that once again, like this opening is opening into a very large cavern from what you can tell, like larger than the one that you came from. Karma, using your dark vision and looking forward, you can see occasional little sparks or little lights coming from the ground. It appears to from what you can tell, it looks like campfires. Looks like different campfires. There's occasionally like the fire occasionally gets obscured by someone, but then they move on. That's about all you can see from where you're at this point in time.
Okay, so let's say to Ryven, and I see a few campfires up there. Should we go back to the group?
I don't want to take on an entire army of these guys by ourselves.
Agreed. Let's go.
I mean, if we knew exactly where to go, that'd be more my style. But direct, single confrontation is not.
I'm pretty sure I'm out of the range of the earring too. I haven't heard anything back from Clarissa in a while, so let's go get them and move forward as a group.
Okay.
All right, so it's
yeah. So if we're gonna start heading back, I guess.
All right, you guys head back.
Yes.
You
stealthy.
Yep. Stealthily, you guys make your way. You make your way back to the rest of your group. You inform them of what you're kind of seeing in front of you. But apart from that, that's probably all you can tell.
Campfires, huh? So no estimate on how many of them there might be?
Or what they may be?
My guess would be drows, but I can't tell from where I was. It's best probably if we move forward a little bit further. I just wanted to make sure that you guys could at least respond to anything if I had any concrete evidence or saw anything. So let's just move forward together.
We need to stay closer, definitely. That the little earring thingy was cutting out there.
About how far?
Oh, I don't know, about 100 feet if I had to guess.
Okay.
Yards.
Good to know.
Feet. 300 feet. 100.
All right. So we creep forward.
Okay.
Let's go.
So the group creeps forward. You all eventually come to the opening into the this entrance. As you guys are walking in, are you using a light source? Are you not using a light source? What are you doing?
I'm just focusing on their dark backs, not with no light source.
I would suggest no light source.
Okay. Same.
Ever seen a candle in a dark room?
All right. So for Brea and for Salix, not bad with disadvantage actually. Salix, go ahead and roll another stealth check with disadvantage. Actually, never mind. You already rolled. That's fine. Okay. So as you guys make it to this opening, you guys crest through the opening, and you see before you, at least those of you with dark vision, see a very large cavern. You can barely make out, like you can't even make out the top. As you're looking to the sides of the you see the walls slowly go up to the top of, or slowly begin rising, but unfortunately you can't see like where they just kind of disappear into oblivion. You can't see the top at this moment in time. The rest of you who are walking in now, there's a little bit of a light source. There's a very small light source that's coming. You see a few campfires on this ground area. It's just lights that are just flickering back and forth. Occasionally, one will be obscured, but then, like once again, it'll be re-obscured. They're probably about 40 feet in front of you guys, or not 40 feet, 40 yards in front of you guys at this point. Now that you've actually walked into the cavern, you can now see that there are different like buildings, or not buildings, but like different like little structures that are raised off the ground at this point. Some appear to be very lopsided, some appear to be in very odd, different shapes. From what you can tell, this little encampment is giving out enough light that you can tell that there's different. Wow, tired today. Different structures. Some look like they're sagging, some look like they're kind of just made of cloth. Occasionally there's like a little bit of fluttering to some of them, from what you can tell. You see individuals moving back and forth, some tall, and a lot of really short ones, from what you can tell.
Chris is going to kind of whisper to everybody. Now, I don't know all that much about Drow, but this doesn't exactly scream Drow City to me.
Aren't they just elves that dwell underground?
Yeah,
Some of them are really short, though. I don't think this is Drow.
And
100%.
no offense,
Well, they're a little more than just elves that just dwell under.
Do they sort of ensnare? Is that the word? Other races, like other things that may be down here? Enslave, perhaps?
I mean, it's possible they serve a greater power, not a pleasant one. If the rumors are true, anyway.
well, Nathan, looking around, we don't see anything that looks like that white structure we've been searching for, right?
Nope.
This is all just kind of like a shanty town.
Nothing that seems to resemble the white structure at all. Nope.
Well, I don't know. What do you guys think we should do? I mean, if we proceed forward, it's probably going to mean some pretty intense combat, unless we can somehow talk our way out of it.
Yeah, we killed their scouts. They're probably not going to be happy with us.
Yeah, DM.
Yep.
How many are we looking at there?
At this point, you can't tell. All you can tell is that you're at the very edge. That you're on the very, very edge of, like, you're just beyond the outskirts of this little shanty town. This shanty town is probably about, like, takes up a good portion of this bottom portion of this cavern. You try to count. You try to count, like, individuals you see, but all you're seeing is just shadows moving across campfires. You can't really tell exactly what or who or how many there are.
Maybe we scout ahead a little more, and maybe we can create some opportunities.
Well, these buildings look somewhat flimsy. Brea and I could probably set some fires to create distraction, but that would definitely mean combat.
At which point Brea kind of whispers and says, "Are we sure we want to be going in guns blazing with this, or technically staffs blazing and magic? It's going to draw quite a lot of attention, but I'll follow your lead. Looks like there's quite a lot of them, from what I can tell."
I propose stealthy options if we can come up with one.
Yeah, if we can find a way through. Looking at Karma.
Perhaps we should oil Salix's armor first.
It'd be easy enough for me to follow through, but I doubt that you guys would be able to make it through. No offense, but I think we should find another option.
Well, we can't go back the other way. It's a dead end.
Yeah, I agree that we shouldn't go in, just blazing, but I don't know.
Okay, first off, Karma, some offense taken. Actually, forget first. That's all. Some offense. Let's figure this out. Well, just because I think the distraction idea is valid, just because we light a whole bunch of stuff on fire doesn't mean we stick around to fight everything that comes to fight it. If we can make it look, well, not arson, whatever the word for that is.
Burglar arson, arsony.
If you really wanted to light this place up, I could do it, but
Perhaps if we send one of our elves forward, can one of you impersonate a drow? Maybe? Perhaps?
Impossible. Our species have been sundered for quite a while. I certainly don't speak their language, and, well, to put it lightly, to them, I probably smell like the surface.
Which is to say you smell like pastries and happiness?
Did we have pastries again? God, how do I keep missing that?
No, you didn't.
Just the one pastries. Lots and lots of them pastries.
I'm hungry now. What were we talking about? Drow and distract.
Trying to find a way through. So yeah, go ahead and scout forward, see if you can count them up. Maybe there's a path along the side we can take.
Yeah,
All right.
great. I say we wide a berth as possible, and I mean, certainly don't seem like they're fortified for
Yeah, they're not expecting an attack down here.
combat. So we should,
Go.
I
Let's
don't
go.
know, any magic users? You guys, you do like glamour magic? You can't make us look like something else, can you?
I could put on a magic show for them, but somehow I don't think they would find that entertaining.
I said glamour magic, not glamorous magic.
Oh.
As you look at
Wow,
Bray,
that's-
as you look at Bray, she says, most of my training currently is just what I know from my book, and most of that seems to be fairly just stuff for combat at this point.
Ah, as if a shot in the dark.
Something will continue to
Yeah.
continue
We're
to
in
grow.
the dark.
The joke goes noticed, and she lets out a small smile, like small nervous little smile.
Okay, so let's proceed forward. I mean, we're certainly not going to hide from them by sitting here talking all evening.
Yep. Parties.
All right.
Party scouts. Go.
Raven, let's go check it out.
All right,
So
should
what's
we
the
get
plan? What's going on, guys?
Ninja Advance Squad? Advance.
So you're sending Riven and Karma up. That's what I'm hearing.
Yep, we're
Okay.
stealth
Yep.
ahead.
Yep.
All right, Riven and Karma, roll your stealth checks.
25.
22.
25 and what?
22.
22. All right. Change my
Oh my
voice.
god, and you call yourselves Nin 30 on
Why would you
stealth rolls. I didn't roll. I'm hanging back here.
All right.
I'm just pissed off there aren't any trees around, man. Like, I'm out of my element. Literally.
Well, literally you are.
You think you're
Okay.
uncomfortable?
Riven and Karma, what are you guys doing? Apart from just advancing.
Yeah, I want to advance forward, kind of keep an eye out for like side passages, or also try and count their numbers as I'm going forward.
So are you guys going like directly towards the shantytown? Or are you trying to veer off to one side of the cavern? What are
Yeah,
you
I want to. I'm imagining hugging like the right-hand wall, kind of sticking to whatever shadows that we can find.
Rock it up.
Well, it is fairly shadowy. Like it's like the light sources that are coming from just this little shanty town that you can tell. Disney references, hell yeah. Okay, so Karma and Riven, as you guys skirt around the side of the cavern, pretty much trying to keep your backs to the wall. You see that the shanty town, like you're basically just trying to keep yourself in the shanty town in between each other right now. From you guys skirt, as you guys get probably about 5 minutes around at this point. You guys see that the shanty town continues to the edge of what appears to be some form of moving substance that is currently underneath or that's currently there. The stream that you guys were following, the stream that you guys were originally following seems to be running into what appears to be some form of underground lake, from what you can tell. So as you continue to follow this right side, you eventually dead end into this lake, into like the very kind of shore of a lake. The ground starts getting kind of sandy. Seems to get kind of sandy. It's more like kind of very loose pebbles at this point. The shanty town is still about 40 yards away, still about 40 to 50 yards away from you guys at this point in time, from the very edge of the wall. As you guys are walking around, you see. Make a perception check, both of you.
Ooh, that's good. 19.
Raven?
18.
Since both of you have low light and dark, like very dark and like dark vision, as you eventually get to the water's edge, you look down towards the shantytown and you see a small humanoid figure, currently bending down to the water. Seems to scoop something. Seems to be taking a bucket and scooping water into the bucket. It then starts to slowly back away, almost trying not almost trying not to, like, it dips the bucket in really slowly, almost as though it's trying to intentionally not disturb the water, and brings it up very slowly, and then starts taking a few steps away from the water.
Is it?
Ooh.
Can I tell if it's drow or something else?
From what you can tell, it does not appear to be walking with the elven grace, and you know that, like, you're aware, like, you with your background, having been around a lot of, being around a few drow, you know the drow have inherited, like, that same grace that elves do. Like, when they walk, they are very light-footed. They're very, it's almost it's a very graceful race, and some individuals have even described them as very beautiful. This one appears to be more short and seems to almost be stumbling in the dark a little bit as it's backtracking up towards the with its little bucket of water, from what you can tell, back towards the shantytown.
Okay. I'd like to look for two things right now. First of all, on any of the humanoids I can see, I want to look for snake markings, see if they're Najarn snakes. And then I also want to look for, like, a stalagmite or some type of rock
what's the range on your dark vision?
Formation that's above the lake. What?
What's the range on your dark vision?
60 feet.
Okay. So.
And I want to look for some type of outcropping that it could potentially be fireballed down or something and splash into the lake, creating a large disturbance.
Okay.
Just want to look for that.
So since like dark vision is more black and white, looking about you and looking as you're looking towards the shantytown, and, like, really taking a few minutes to just stare at it and look at it and really take in as much of it as you can. You want, like, your senses are starting to see other smaller individuals walking around. Some seem to be stumbling. Some seem to be very short-footed on where they're going. There's even some smaller ones than there was, like, originally about a small one about maybe about 3 or 4 feet tall. Then there's even a smaller one that's maybe like 2 feet tall, from what you can tell. And that one seems to be walking very short-footedly around. Very occasionally, you'll see a taller, like, almost like 6 or like 5 to 7 foot individual walk by. With your dark vision, their hair seems white. Most of their hair seems, like, the taller individuals, their hair seems white, and their skin seems more of a very gray, like a light gray color. They seem to be wearing armor, but they do not seem to be wearing. But where you know the Najarn snake's tattoo normally is, which is on the left arm, none seem to be none of their upper arms seem to be visible, from what you can tell.
Okay. And what about the rock outcropping or anything?
As you look up, you see what appear to be a bunch of different stalactites. I think stalactites
hanging down. Absolutely correct.
Fuck yeah.
Because they look like T's. If you think of the ceiling as the top of the T.
Got it right. Hell
That's
yeah.
how you remember.
You see a bunch of stalactites hanging down. Like, you see some small ones. You see some like you can see some small ones, you see 2 very large ones that are hanging down, but you can only see maybe like about 10 feet of the bottom, and the only reason you can tell that they're there is because they stick out against the darkness, from what you can tell. As you guys are standing here looking and taking all this in, you hear in the distance, almost as though it's a very almost though it's like ridiculously far away, but like farther away. But actually, hold on. You hear all of a sudden echoing through the cavern, and the rest of the party hears this as well. This loud, and then you hear just a continuous scream as something. Karma, you notice this as something comes falling down from the ceiling. And then there's a as it slams into the lake underneath, sending ripples and ripples all across the lake, which is normally a very still, from what you were seeing, was a very still surface, and the ripples just go all the way across. You don't see splashing, you don't see anything. You see something kind of surface come to the surface and just rest there at the surface of the lake for a few minutes. At this point. eventually the
Okay.
lake returns to stillness.
How far away are we from the rest of the party?
You're probably about almost 170 like yards, like by walking around,
Oh,
like
shit, it's
by
great.
walking around this, like just walking around the outskirts of the cavern.
Karma,
Yes,
see the thing in the lake? I don't think we want to deal with the thing in the lake.
definitely don't want to deal with the thing on the lake.
I
Let's.
think we should back off quickly.
Yep, I agree. Did you see any exits?
I don't think so.
Okay. Let's head back to the group.
All right. Rest of you heads back. You guys head back after about 5 minutes. You guys make your way back to the group. You're back.
All right, guys. So there's a big lake on the other side of this little shanty town here. First of all, in the shanty town, there are multiple different types of individuals. There are definitely some drow. There's a few people around 4 foot, 5 foot tall, and there's a few even that are around 2 foot. They all seem like they belong down here, except for some of them seem kind of clumsy, so they're probably from the surface. There's also some type of a monster in the lake, which would be fun. They're trying not to disturb the surface of the lake at all to probably keep it down there. I was thinking the potential great distraction would be there are some stalactites on the ceiling we could probably take down with a firebolt or something, Clarissa.
Firebolts that they can see and track. How about something a little less firebolty?
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Emerald, if it's some kind of natural beast, can't you just, like, I don't know, talk to it and make friends with it or whatever? Is that like a
Normally-
druidy thing?
Normally, from what I understand, there's nothing bestial in this place.
Oh, well. I don't know, it could work, but it's,
But if you do need something, I could call a strike of lightning down.
Also
onto the lake.
very bright.
But
But
from my understanding, she calls it down instead of like sending it across from where she is. It's just down from the ceiling onto whatever she's attacking.
yeah, but is a lightning strike gonna break rock? I mean, I'm not a geologist, but that seems somewhat unlikely to me. Just shocking the lake directly might make no sense.
that's what I was getting at, Clarissa.
Yeah, I'll say, we heard some kind of weird echoing screaming noise. I assume that was one of you stubbing your toe?
Actually, that was somebody who fell down from the ceiling into the lake. There was a big splash, and then something came up to the surface, a large something, and then stayed there for a little bit and then went down. So my guess is whoever that was is very dead.
That implies that there's a way to get up to the ceiling. Did you happen to see anything that might be a pathway?
I looked for anything I could see. I couldn't find anything. We were on the right-hand side of the building, perhaps, or of the cave. Perhaps there was something on the left-hand side with maybe ladders, or I don't know.
Well, I don't know. What do the rest of you think? I think if we can stay hidden and get close enough for Emerald to shock the lake, that might provoke whatever that thing is, which might distract the individuals in the town. But where do we go from there? Like, if we don't have any exits or any idea of where to go while they're distracted, then that's all kind of for naught, except for mindless destruction, which I am definitely a fan of, but we do have a specific reason for being down in this horrible place.
We
Right,
do have
and
one means of escape.
Even if that all goes off without a hitch, well, when has that ever happened to us?
The time with the spiders while you were staring at a stalactite a few hours ago.
Well, it was very fascinating.
I found
It was kind of like an underground tree. And so I was musing on that. You guys seem to have handled the spiders very well.
I found a gold coin.
You found a gold coin.
Singular gold coin.
Totally worth it.
What would a spider need a gold coin? Whatever, we can
Spider
discuss that later.
shopping. They need many shoes for their.
They
many-
make their own silk. It's like printing money.
Anyway,
Anyway.
if we could wake this lake monster thing, whatever, and they're distracted by it, maybe we can make our way around the left-hand side.
Yeah, what happens if we need to come back?
Can we not make our way around the left-hand side without the distraction?
You guys could work. You guys could once again. You guys could kind of move away, kind of move around the left-hand side if you wanted to. You could do this.
I
seems
say
from
we
what you
take our chances
from
with
what
just
you can
trying
tell-
to sneak past.
From
We
what you can tell,
always
you guys
keep-
are in a giant cylinder, or not cylindrical, but almost half sphere type cavern. It's about almost 300 yards across.
No.
Or 300. Yeah, it's about almost 300 yards across from what you can tell. It's the shantytown seems to be kind of in the middle of it, and then there's a lake on the other side from what you can tell.
I say we move slowly, deliberately, and quietly, far away from as possible. And if something goes wrong with that, then we can try shocking the lake.
I like this plan. Let's sneak around.
All right.
I
Agreed.
agree.
Makes sense.
All right.
The
Like,
spell's
well,
ready, so on your word.
Okay.
All right.
As you guys.
Which word?
I don't know. Somewhere.
Sea biscuit.
Seabit. What?
Sea biscuit. Okay.
That does not sound
happy.
appetizing.
There are biscuits in the sea.
Salty and soggy biscuit.
All right.
Yummy.
So, as you guys, as the group, all right, I need the entire group to make a group stealth check then.
Okay. All right.
Mapster.
Oh.
Ooh, there we go.
What was it David Tennant's doctor used to say all the time?
Alonzi?
Not that one. The other one. Thinking about I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Damn it. All right.
Oh no, wait, that's wrong. That's wrong. Sorry, that's wrong.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Makes
Uh-huh.
all the difference.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Like that 5.
Okay.
I knew I'd roll poorly. It was my idea, so
All right.
obviously the
So-
dice were not going to reward me for this.
As the group begins making its way around the left side, those of you with dark vision, you notice that Brea is having a bit of difficulty. Brea and Salix are both having some difficulty walking and being in this very pitch black in this darkness right now. Brea will. I gotta roll for it.
Meryl.
Fantastic. So you notice that Brea and Brea and Salix both have very difficulty walking as their eyes are not used to just being in very pitch black. Even though there is dim light coming, it's kind of hard to know. It's kind of hard to see all that. It's still hard for them to see. You guys begin making your way around to the left-hand side. Looking about, once again, you still see the shantytown. As you guys are keeping your eyes out for any entrances or exits that might be available to you, you're still about 40 to 50 yards away from the shantytown at all times, from what you can tell. As you are walking around, you see those in front see a small shape. Small humanoid shape walking in front of them at this point.
Can I go forward and wait behind a rock or something like that, wherever it's going, and then just
Looking around, there's a few stalagmites that are sticking out of the ground. So you scoot up to one of them. You go ahead and make a you already rolled your stealth, so we'll keep that one. You scoot up to it, you scoot up behind it, and you just see it continuing to walk, kind of this outside. Okay, it's kind of sticking pretty close to, it's sticking about probably around the 35-yard mark away from the shantytown, just walking towards the lake, and then walking towards the lake from what you can tell.
About how far away from us is it, Nathan?
Probably from the entire party. From Karma, it's probably about 15 yards away. From the party, it's probably closer to about 20 or 30.
Yards, feet, right? All the spell ranges are in feet, so.
So whatever that. Okay, so let me do this because I'm bad. I'm thinking off of a football field, because that's how I'm doing all this right now.
Yeah.
So it's probably about. I'm trying to think of. I need a rate feet. I need a foot to yard conversion. It's 3 feet for every yard, right? So. Magical calculator. Actually, let's do it this way because it's too long. So from Karma, they're probably about 25 feet away, and from the rest of the party, they're probably closer to 40 to 50 feet away from what you can tell.
And there's just the one, or is there more than one?
Just the one, from what you can tell.
Okay, I want to kind of. I'm going to tell Clarissa through the little thing. I'm going to whisper and be like, "Stay there."
Clarissa's gonna reply through the thingy and say, "Let me know if it's a gnome. It looks small enough that it might be, and there are gnomes that live in the Underdark, believe it or not."
Hi, Karma. What
Okay. And so, looking at it, can I tell if it's a gnome?
From where you're at, it does not look like a gnome. It looks like an individual with dark hair, from what you can tell. Looks like it almost looks childlike with your dark vision. It looks like it's more of a child. It's got dark hair. Its skin is more of a white, from what you can tell, is more of a lighter white color at this point in time. Seems to be wearing kind of raggedy, kind of like what were once very nice clothes, but seem to be more kind of torn in places. Seems to be more like kind of like very dirt stained, very kind of mud stained at this point.
And is it like looking towards the lake, or
it's
what
walking
is it?
in the direction towards the lake at this point?
Okay, I want to try and go like cover to cover, staying
Okay.
close behind.
Okay.
Not super close, but enough that I could probably throw a dagger at it if I needed to.
So as you continue following it, you find yourself becoming very aware that you are getting farther and farther away from the group at this point. But you end up getting to probably about, like, you see the child eventually hit the lake. This childlike entity eventually gets to the edge of the lake. You're probably about 15 feet away from it, behind a stalactite or stalagmite at this point. And the childlike figure stops at the edge of the lake and just kind of stands there for a few minutes. After, go for it.
I was just gonna say, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for it to do something.
After that, it turns around and continues starting to walk kind of back in your direction at this point.
Okay. If it gets up next to me, I want to take the pommel of my dagger and knock it out.
Okay. Okay. This individual starts walking closer and closer to you. You're still hiding behind a stalagmite at this point. It eventually, as it gets within about the 10-foot range, you get a very good look at its face, and you are able to see that this looks like a small human child that is walking around in once again in very nice clothes. You can't tell what color the clothes are. The hair is kind of slightly messed up, but it looks like it's been a little shaggy, or it's been let to grow for a while. The child continues to walk closer and closer. And eventually, it is in line with you, and eventually in line with you and the stalagmite that you are currently hiding behind.
Okay. By chance, does it look like the child from above?
You can't. It does not appear to have the same facial features, from what you can tell.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try and knock it out when it gets next to me.
Okay, go for it. Roll your attack.
19.
19? Yep, 19 will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage, good sir.
Okay. And so this would be with the pommel, so it'd be a D4 for the actual damage, then my sneak attack, and then it's doubled on top of that, right?
Yep.
Okay. $16 times 2, 32.
As the child walks past your stalagmite that you're hiding behind, it continues walking forward. You take a step out. You flip your dagger. You grab it. You take the pommel. Whap! Right on the back of the head. Just crumples to the ground. Still alive, but unconscious. Fairly unconscious from what you can tell. You still hear the breathing, but it is it's very low and very quiet at this point.
All right, I'm going to pick him up and rush back to the group, and then once I get within range of Clarissa, I'm going to let her know what happened.
Okay. You get within range of the child. You pick up the child. You get back within range. You get back within range of the earring. You tell Clarissa what happened. You eventually make your way back to the group.
Someone have a gag.
And I've got the endless rope.
Yeah, let's make a gag.
Why? What is it?
It's some type of a child. I couldn't have time. I didn't have enough time to do anything. I knocked it out.
Oh, Karma, you knocked out a kid?
Hey, it's either that or be discovered by the entire camp. I think we should at least talk to it.
What kind of kid is it?
An unconscious one.
A kid.
From what you can tell, it is a humanoid. It is a human kid. It is a human child. The ears are well rounded. It's very as you now have a chance to look over it, you notice that there is actually it's wearing very, very fine, very nice clothing. Karma, as you were picking up, it's almost like not quite silk, but a very nice fine wool. Looks like it's got some very nice gold and silver trim in it. It's very, very like the clothing that this kid's wearing is very, very nice, very ornate. You do find it odd that he's not wearing any shoes though.
What is a person like this doing down here?
Guys, if we gag him, I can interrogate him with message, and that way he won't have a chance to scream for help until we know if he's dead or not.
Let's do that.
Nothing wrong can come from that.
First of all, let's head back, should we? And then come back later if we need to.
Yeah, I guess we should back off from the camp, eh?
Can we find like a secluded alcove or something?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Well, I can't see shit, so...
Yeah. Salix, you'd be doing it with disadvantage.
19.
You'd be doing it with disadvantage. Okay. So looking about where you guys are at, normally the wall is fairly smooth. The wall is fairly smooth at this point. However, as you're just looking around and look up, Tyrion, you notice that about 15 feet up there is a small opening in the wall. What's beyond that, though, you can't really tell. But it does appear to be a small enough opening that you think that all of your party would be able to get into it. It could get into it, from what you can tell.
I'd like to frisk the kid too.
Okay.
Really?
Whoa.
That's the first place you go.
All right, go for it. Make a investigation check.
Statutory frisk.
16.
Taking a moment to, as nicely and as I'm trying to think of not intrusiveness, and it's not intruding as you can. You feel around the kid's torso. You feel around his arms. Like they're from what you can tell, there's not really a ton of place to hide anything. And it doesn't appear as though there's he's hiding anything. It doesn't appear as though there's anything on him. You find like a half-eaten thing of cheese. That's really about all you find on him.
Okay. So once we get to the alcove, I'll use a little bit more of this rope and gently tie his hands up.
Oh, hold on. It's just
Okay.
a kid, and he's human. Perhaps we wake him up.
Yeah, but I do think it's necessary that we keep him from screaming. If he's got even fright, it will.
Well, I can do that. We'll just keep him here. I can cast silence. He
You guys
can't
are-
speak.
You guys are
And you
currently
can
out in
message-
the middle of nowhere at this point.
We're at where?
You're like still in the middle of like the cavern. Not in the middle, but you're still like against the wall.
Yeah,
in the
and
middle
did
of the
I
cavern.
interpret what you said correctly? Is that alcove is 15 feet above us?
Yeah, looking up, you see about 15 feet up above.
Yeah, it's
Maybe not
in the
15 feet, maybe
wall.
more like 10 feet above you guys. There's like a
10 feet.
There's like a small
okay.
there's like a small opening in the wall from what you can tell.
Well, I can probably throw the gnome.
Yeah, let's go up there.
As soon as you interpret this and tell this to everyone, you look about and you see you hear Brea just say, "Can you point me in the direction that opening is at?"
Okay, I'm just gonna sort of grab her hand and to it with her hands.
Okay,
Where
so
it is.
you place her in front of the wall. You take her by the hand, lead her in
Oh, I
front.
like where this.
Lead her to where the wall is at, and tell her that it's directly above her. She says, "All right, let's try something new here." And she puts her staff. She opens her bag of holding, places her staff back in it. It just disappears, almost Mary Poppins style. And she takes her hands and concentrates for a minute. She then lifts up one of her feet, rubs the bottom of it, places it back down on the ground, takes up her other foot, rubs the bottom of it as well, and she then at that point looks down at her hands, claps like places them together, letting out a small little clap, not like a loud, but more of a kind of like a little pat sound, and she places her hands against the walls, lifts one foot up, lifts the other foot up, and she then begins to climb very quickly up the wall to the alcove. Few seconds pass by, and a rope comes down to the ground where you guys are at.
That was very impressive.
Let's head on up.
You guys head on up. You find about
Are we taking the kid?
a 10 foot by 10 foot about a 10 foot deep cavern, a little alcove by probably about 7 or 8 feet wide. The whole opening is only about 4 feet in diameter, so it does take a second to kind of squeeze through, but everyone does get through. How you getting the kid up there?
Kind of tie him to the rope and pull him up.
All right. So, Salix, since you said that, I need you to make a strength check.
Okay.
That is a
18. So, yep, it takes you a minute, but you're able to eventually get the child up there. As he crests the top of it, you see as he crests into the cavern, you see his eyes start to flutter open for a second and begin fluttering open.
I say, Percy, come here.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so as he's waking up, I'm like holding my finger over my lips and motioning to Karma to be ready to knock him out if he yells again, or if he yells.
Okay, I prepare.
Say, just, hey.
As he wakes up and looks around, he as he wakes up and looks around, he looks up at you. Looks like from what you can tell, you're very close to his face at this point, because he you're having even difficulty seeing him in this little alcove. And he looks directly at you, looks around, looks over in the direction of Karma, and says, Where am I?
Hi, my name is
Who's there?
Salix.
Who's there?
It's okay. It's okay. I promise. My name is Salix. These are my friends. We're looking for some missing children down here, and you're a human and you're a child. Are you from around here?
No, not from around here.
What's your name?
Where am I?
That's
what
okay.
is this place?
You're still here. You're still in the cave. Are you here because you want to be here?
I'm supposed to be here. This is my. I'm supposed to be here. This is. At least I think so.
You think so? Do you know who brought you here?
Who brought me? There was
This place. Do you know where you are?
No, I know I'm underground, but that's about it. This place it's very dark.
Yes, it's very dark. It's very difficult to see, right? And I kind of prominently point my rounded ears and say it's difficult for our kind to see down here.
Yeah, it is.
So, where are you from?
He looks. His eyes kind of look down towards his hands, and I don't remember.
What?
I don't remember.
To Clarissa, do you sense any magic about him, or it kind of sounds like his memory's been tampered with?
Yeah. Let me have a look at you, lad. I'm gonna.
This is my friend Clarissa. She's a very friendly little gnome.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
So, what's gonna happen here is I'm going to place my hands on your face area, and we'll see if we can sort out your memories. This isn't gonna hurt. It might tingle.
Make a
Probably more for me than you.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay, I'm good at this. Oh man, 7.
All right.
I rolled terribly.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I need to double check something here real quick. Assuming my page wants to load for me. I want that one. Sorry, I'm double checking one thing real quick because I don't have it in my notes, which is rude. What did you roll again?
I rolled a 7.
Is that total?
No, that I. Well, hang on, because I actually have proficiency. So my roll was a nat 3, and then with modifiers, it would be a 9. I forgot to add proficiency.
Okay.
That I have.
Okay,
Still
so
not good.
all right, so it's still it's over what you needed it to be, which is fine. Can you do it without touching me? It's I don't.
Yeah. If you're more comfortable with that, I suppose that will work. Just hold still for me.
He sits there and is trying to stay as still as he can be at this point.
All right, then I guess I'll take an Arcana check to see if I can detect any enchantments or whatever on his person.
Go for it.
Go. 10.
Marissa.
Okay. as you're taking a minute and like lowering the barriers around your mind and extending your mind forward in order to sense this individual and see what, see if there's anything wrong with him, see if there's anything magical affecting him. You look around in this very dark, like this very dark space, just within this like you look around in this dark space and you move forward, like you allow your consciousness to move forward to the consciousness of this other individual. You feel a child, you feel like the brain of a young child and the consciousness of a young child, and you feel it's definitely missing, like there's definitely something off about him. Like he's definitely missing his memories. He's definitely not like he definitely has had memories and stuff altered to him, but apart from that, what happened, what actually happened, you can't tell. What was used to alter those memories, you can't tell. Make a perception check while you're doing this, real quick.
Perception.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my god. 5.
Stop.
Hold on one second.
Oh my god.
Hate me tonight.
Sorry about that, guys. Okay. All right. So.
That's okay. It just makes it more interesting.
All right. So.
Wouldn't be fun if we all rolled well all the time.
So what'd you roll, Clarissa, for that perception?
5.
Okay. Roll 2d10, please.
Okay. So we got a 5 and a. Okay, so we're looking at a 76.
All right, 76 here.
Oh no.
All right then.
What does that mean?
Oh my god. So as you're granted it's a perception check. So as you're so Clarissa, as your consciousness, which is as your consciousness is like, it has moved forward out of the bounds, the constraints of your own personal body, you look about and you notice that throughout this entire cavern, from what you can tell, you see the specks of light, like you see the specks of light of your friends, you see the specks of light of this child in front of you. Looking farther than that, you on the ground see 10, 20, 40, 100 other specks of light interspace between the distance between you and what you gather is the end of the cavern. There was one very large one in the lake, and there appear to also be some above you, from what you can tell. However, your consciousness, as you see this, you start to immediately kind of freak out and you start to kind of backpedal as fast as you can. But as you do so, your consciousness begins to like let out more and more energy from it, lets more and more energy out from it, and you try to block off your consciousness as quickly as you can. As you return back to your senses and back to your own body, you look down at yourself and you realize that your entire body has begun to glow a bright yellow. And it is continuing to get brighter and brighter and brighter at this point.
I cast darkness.
Okay. All right, go ahead and cast dark. Okay, go ahead. All right, so mark off that spell for you, Karma.
Yep.
All right, so as Clarissa's form begins to glow, all of a sudden there's a and just blackness envelops the entire area. No one can see. No one can see that. Nobody can see at this point. Like everyone kind of everyone kind of freaks out. The kid goes, huh?
Wasn't me?
What's happening?
Stand still.
What's going on?
Stand still. It's okay. That was me. It's magical darkness. I saw Clarissa start to glow. It was the only option. Just be quiet.
I don't want to be here.
Do you feel okay?
What's going? What's happening?
Whoa.
Where am I?
Right, man.
Let's.
You notice
You
the child
seem
start getting more and more worked up and start getting louder and louder.
Karma,
I'm
what do you think?
And I'll over the head.
Roll for an
Oh, I
attack
was-
with disadvantage since you can't see.
Okay. No,
Oh,
we're hitting
God.
the kid.
Good point.
Salix, if this doesn't work, maybe some silence.
Ooh, first one's nat 20.
Well, roll
Oh
with
god, don't
disadvantage.
kill him.
Second one was a 17.
Okay. So fumbling around in the darkness, you eventually find a shoulder. It's about lower level than what you're like what you expect the kid to be about. You take your dagger, whap, slap across it, and
Oh god.
roll another. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, buddy.
I think you can opt to not kill a creature, right?
Yeah, I'm.
Yeah, that's what he's
I
doing.
mean,
That's what he's
maybe
doing.
not
He's
directly.
doing a
Did just give this
non-deadly
kid
damage.
2 concussions. That's not good for you.
12. 26.
Jesus.
Clarissa, you suffer 26 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
Oh my god.
As the kid is consistently still going like, where
Cast
am
silence.
I? Okay, as you cast silence.
wait, is that
as you
just
cast silence.
Is it the one where we can still hear each other? Or
Nope,
am
this
I
is
asking
just-
this question to myself?
As you cast silence, everything just goes quiet. You don't hear, like, no one hears anything. There is, you can hear the slight sound of lapping water very far away, but there is nothing else that's happening. There is
Welcome
no
to the Helen
sound.
Keller effect.
There is no sound. You can't.
Currently
We are currently at
blind.
no
We
sound.
can't talk.
You can't
and
hear
we can't
anything.
hear shit.
Pretty bad. Clarissa, you have a pretty big welt on the back of your head, and you're a little annoyed about it. I'm assuming you're not unconscious, so. Clarissa.
Nope, she's unconscious. I
Clarissa.
think.
Oh God. Clarissa.
We knocked her the fuck out.
Clarissa.
And have no way of communicating this to each other.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so I can hold that for a minute. I'm gonna hold my silence for a while. I'm gonna kind of fumble out towards where I
I'm
think.
gonna stand incredibly still with my arms out to make sure no one goes back the other way and play their, 10 feet of damage.
Right.
Hopefully it wouldn't be their death.
I'm just gonna wait until the darkness dissipates.
Hang on a second.
Oh,
is
computer
not in
froze
our-
for Clarissa.
Discord.
He has to restart. Okay. Well, for the
Way to go, Karma.
there's-
You hit her so hard you knocked her off the internet.
So hard, you knocked her so hard. Hey, Clarissa, welcome back. Maybe.
Hello, Clarissa? Are you there?
I hear a thunk.
I heard a thunk.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
My computer seized up, but I was able to fix it without restarting. So,
Nice.
We're
did I
both
miss-
blind and deaf.
You are currently blind, deaf, and you have.
And you are possibly unconscious.
What are you? How many hit points do you have?
hit point singular.
Singular. Okay. You're still up. You're really annoyed at this point. You have a large bruise on the back, like a large bump forming on the back of your head at this point, and you currently have a hand grasping your shoulder. A hand of a person who's taller than you grasping your shoulder, and that's currently the situation you're in.
What the hell? Ow! Who did that?
As you say
Why
this,
can't I-
nothing comes out. As you say this, your mouth moves and your lips move. No sound comes out.
I'm going to use message to communicate to Tyrion, who I know well enough to talk to without needing
Yep.
to see him.
Go for it.
and say,
While
what
this
the
is
hell?
while this is going on, I can tell that thing didn't get knocked out, right? So technically, I would still be trying to knock it out.
If you want to.
No, I don't want to, but like in character.
Yeah, no.
that's
What
I
would Karma be
do.
doing at this point?
That's what "if you want to" means.
Yeah.
Since we can't see,
What would-
and now we can't
So,
hear each other.
Tyrion, as you're standing incredibly still, and all of a sudden hear Clarissa go, "What the?" There would have been another loud whap, but at that, go ahead and roll for attack, Karma.
Oh, I
With
thought you were asking me to
disadvantage.
roll for attack.
No.
I was like, I am not.
Nope, Karma, go ahead and roll another attack.
Just keep hitting it.
18.
Oh Jesus!
Get the feeling that's gonna hit.
That'll hit.
Roll damage. It's not sneak attack because it's clearly aware that you're there with the
Yeah.
hand on the shoulder and the fact that you just whapped it once. Roll your damage.
That is plus proficiency 5 points damage.
If the silence wasn't there, there'd be another loud
More
whap. But
than
there's just a.
one.
But Karma, you just feel the vibration as it's hit, and you feel Clarissa's form just go. And run. Tyrion, you just hear a "what the," and it's quiet.
All right. Well, once Clarissa's voice stops, sentence in my head, I'm gonna walk towards where she was. I mean, I would know where she.
You're-
We're not in a large area, right? Can I
slowly
safely?
You slowly start walking towards the direction that you think that there
But
are.
as quickly as is safe, because now I'm worried.
At this point, the silence runs out, and the darkness. How long does darkness last for, Karma?
Up to 10 minutes. Concentration.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah. So eventually, so at this point, the silence dissipates, and you can hear your footsteps hitting the ground again.
Okay. What's happening?
At which point the child is.
Clarissa.
At which point the
Clarissa,
child.
where are you?
What's
I
happening?
knocked the kid out.
What's happening? Where am I?
What the?
And
It is not
you
unconscious.
start
I'm
hearing.
gonna go and
you start
grab
hearing
him.
scrambling toward. You
Put
start
my
hearing-
hand over its mouth.
You start hearing scrambling towards.
And then I'm going to ritual cast feign death on the kid.
You start hearing scrambling as it is beginning to move in a direction. Let's see where it's going. Cool. As he's moving away at this point from you, Karma.
I would still be headed to where I thought Clarissa
Yep,
was.
you're still moving in that
so-
direction. Salix, what's the ritual cast? Feign
It's
death.
a ritual cast of feign death.
Oh, feign
So it
death
just takes about 10 minutes. Yeah, it just takes about 10 minutes.
to cast.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, so as you
Anytime you ritual cast, you add 10 minutes to
Yep.
the
So,
current casting time.
as this is happening, you start focusing on where you think the child is at. You start focusing on beginning to try and cast it. You grasp your holy symbol. You start the ritual casting process. At this point, the child has made it to the lip of where you guys the lip of this cave that you guys are in currently.
I wanna-
Go after him.
Okay.
I would
Karma, you
dash after him.
Okay, Karma and Riven, you both catch up to the kid. You both catch up to the kid at this point. It's you eventually get. Actually, Riven, you wouldn't know this because it's still completely pitch blackness at this point. Karma, you eventually get out of the darkness area and are at the lip of the cave. Riven, make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, that's fine. Give me wisdom shit any day.
Have I found the gnome yet?
Yeah, you eventually, as you're walking, you eventually find something on the ground, and your foot hits it, and you bend down, and you feel the length, and it's like, oh, that's Clarissa.
19.
Okay, so you start running in what you think is the direction, and you end up getting to the edge of the darkness right as Karma is getting to the edge of the darkness. You see the child has already thrown the rope down and is starting to climb down out of the rope at this point.
While this is happening,
So-
I'm gonna. Once Clarissa doesn't respond, I'm just gonna heal her
Okay, go for it.
for like 20 hit
Is
points.
is the child within length?
Arm
Like,
length at this
can I
point?
grab
Yeah,
him?
you can try and grab him. Yeah.
I'd like to try and grab him.
Yep. Make a grapple
Pull him
check.
back up.
Make a grapple check.
What? That's the D20 plus strength, correct?
Yep.
12.
What is our rope held onto? Doesn't we climb a rope up there?
Yeah, you did. From when you guys climbed up, you found it was attached to like a stalagmite that was stalagmite that was in the actual cavern, in the actual little outcropping or the inlet itself.
Is there another one there?
Looking about, you
Like
can't
another spot I could hang a rope?
you can't see, but you could probably maybe reattach it. You could probably attach another rope to the other one or to the same one at this point. It's about 2 or 3 feet tall at this point. So,
Oh, okay.
so yeah, Carmen, you reach out. You reach out. You try to grab the kid. You grab the kid's arm, and at that point you grab him. He's able to wriggle. He's able to wriggle free, and has begun climbing down the rope at this point.
I'm gonna yank out.
Okay.
I got a bunch of rope on me. I'm gonna yank
At which
out
point there's
about 30 feet worth of rope, tie it off to that thing, and
Okay.
tie it to my waist, and jump and
Okay.
trigger my slow fall.
Okay, go for it. Okay, so as you take the rope, you tie it around the stalagmite, tie it around the waist. You jump out at. You end up falling down. Trigger slow fall. Just as you're falling, you end up like kind of getting right in time with the child. You're currently
And I'm
falling.
gonna grab him.
Okay, you're currently
Grab
falling.
the shit out of
Yep. Go ahead and roll your do a grapple check, please. Not where I thought tonight was going, but okay, cool.
While this is going on, I want to pull out my sling.
Okay. What was the grapple check?
17. What do I add to it?
Your strength modifier.
Strength.
1.
Okay.
So 18.
So as you're falling, you
Yeah, it's not attack, right? So I don't
No,
have to
it's not.
sub dexterity to
as
it.
you're falling, you reach over, grab the kid. He's still holding onto his rope. You grab him around the waist. He starts immediately like letting out this ear piercing.
2 points,
screaming.
cast silence on myself. I don't need to do anything, it just happens.
You cast silence on yourself.
Well, because I burn 2 points of Kai, I can cast silence
On yourself.
without needing any. Yeah,
Okay.
which means it's a radius around me.
Oh
It
yeah.
follows me.
So as you do that, there's like a and it's quiet, but that still echoes around the
Fucking making me burn my points. I don't
Around
burn
the-
points for anything.
around the cavern. He's struggling. He's squealing. You eventually get down to the ground again. He's still struggling around, but there's no, and like you see his like face starting to turn red, and he's just screaming at this point. You hold him there. All right. You've made it down to the
That's
ground.
all I can do.
You've made it down to the ground.
yeah,
You're holding
I'm
the child
up
at this
here.
point.
Like,
I'm gonna drop down once I see that's under
Okay.
control. I'm just gonna go down the rope.
Okay, darkness is still in effect at this point because you have not actively.
You said I was at the edge of it.
Yeah, you were at the edge of it, but that darkness effect is still happening behind you in the cave.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
Salix,
I'm gonna keep it up because
DJ,
Clarissa was
or-
glowing, so I'm
See,
gonna keep
Salix,
it going.
Tyrion, and Clarissa, and Amiral, and Brea all can't see at this point.
Yeah, except Clarissa, by the way, you're healed for
So
25 points. I
Oh.
laid my hands on it.
poorly.
What? There were lights and then darkness and then somebody hit me and now Elfie is touching me and this is all so sudden.
So when I get down to the bottom of the rope, I want to knock the kid out
All right.
again.
Fair-
That I'm holding.
fairly
Silent.
easily seeing where the kid's at. You're able to just
Clarissa,
go
I'm not sure what
whap right on the
happened,
back
but I
of it.
think maybe
Right
we
on the back
need
of
to
his
have
head.
a long discussion with Karma later.
right on the back of the head. The kid goes. Ryven, you feel the kid go, or limp in your arms. I'll say for the sake of brevity, you guys are able to climb back up into the into the cave, hoisting the child back up
So
with you,
poorly.
who is completely
Which is
knocked
still
out of it
dark,
for the
right?
second
At this
time.
time.
Fucking black.
The cave is
dark.
still pitch black at this point.
At this time, I'm going to cast Goodberry and spawn some food so the kid could actually eat.
Passed out
The
kids.
kid is-
You gotta have.
Well, I guess you don't know that.
All you see is complete blackness.
Yeah, you can't see anything at this point. Eventually,
So, I guess
Karma
you
and
were bored
Ryven,
and wanted
Karma, Ryven, and the
berries?
kid, you
Like,
guys get
that's
back up.
actually sounds like a very
All three of
druid
you get
thing
back
to do.
into the cave, into the little alcove. The darkness
Once
is still
I-
affecting that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and lower the darkness at that point.
So as you lower the darkness, the cave, the darkness dissipates, and just the shadow, the darkness eventually like seems to creep back into the shadows that are around the cave. There is no bright glowing gnome. There is no anything else. Everyone is back in the cave, relatively back where you originally started. Although Clarissa is still laying on the ground, slightly coddled in Tyrion's arms at this point.
I'm going to take the rope and like tie it to the kid and tie it to me. I'm making a kid leash here. No more wandering away for the time being.
Well,
I also
well,
definitely-
I'm just gonna
you-
sit down.
You do.
I
as
also
such.
definitely want to gag the kid so he can't like scream anymore.
You do. All right. So you guys both. You both. You
Kid leash.
You first off make a leash for the child, putting it around his torso and around his waist. You then while you're doing that, Karma takes a scrap of cloth and gags the child at that point.
Oh my gosh, are we really binding up this kid?
What is happening right now? Why
Nowhere
was
to
Clarissa
knocking him out 3
unconscious?
times. This kid's gonna have developmental issues for the rest of his life.
Okay, I'm gonna use my-
Karma, as you are starting to getting ready to gag the child, you feel a hand on your shoulder, as Brea just looks at you, Brea's looking down at you, has her hand on your shoulder, and just, you don't need to gag him. He's unconscious, and I can keep him asleep for some time if he ever wakes up again.
Okay, that's much better. Thank you.
Screaming.
At this point, I'm gonna take 2 of the good berries that I spawned
Mm-hmm.
and put it in his hands.
In the child's hands?
Passed out sleeping.
He's asleep.
No.
So as you
Leave
place
all of-
Child.
as you place the as you place the
Does he
berries
have free hands?
as you place the berry, he's currently laying on the ground, like with a rope attached to Ryvan, who's currently sitting next to him. You turn his hand over. You place the good berries in his hand. You take the fingers and close them so that it's making a slight fist. They relax a little bit, but the berries are staying still in his hand at this point.
And I'm gonna hand a berry to each one of the people, or each one of our members in the group for subsistence.
All right.
Once I
Okay.
get back to the top,
This berry is very nice, but seriously.
right away
Maybe
once I get
another
back to the
nourishment
top,
for the day.
To use. Oh, go ahead.
right away when I get to the top, I'm gonna go to Clarissa and kneel down. I'm
This is-
so sorry. I thought you were the kid. Oh my god.
This is after he's attempted to gag the child and everything. Just
Ah,
for
so,
timeline wise.
Yeah, that hurt like a lot. Care to explain why you felt it necessary to, try to kill me?
I thought you were the kid, and Salix told me to, and
You
it
were
just I had
glowing.
to. Oh man,
Uh,
I'm flustered. I can't even really talk.
The
well,
last time you did a magic-y thing, we ended up in evil darkness zone.
yes, but we probably saved Rhea's life by doing that. So, yeah.
Well,
Next
okay,
time-
we certainly can't start knocking the gnome out every time she tries to do magic.
I agree with you.
I wasn't trying to knock her out. I was trying to knock the kid out. It was.
I thought you were supposed to be good with daggers.
I am pretty good with daggers. Thank you
Yes,
very much. But it was in complete darkness
And
I went-
silence.
and silence. And I went for the kid, and I thought, Clarissa, I'm so sorry. Did you here? Do you want a potion? Here.
Hold
give
on,
me-
no, that's
No, it's
What do
quite
you
alright.
use? Channel divinity.
Okay.
So
I already healed the gnome a significant amount.
Well,
how-
mine still hurts a little bit, so
Fair
think-
enough.
you got.
So I'm gonna put 10 points of health into Clarissa and 15 into the kid.
All right, you do this.
Does your channel divinity have like anti-concussive properties by any chance?
So as
I don't
you
think so.
as you
So work on brain swelling.
Because this kid's gonna wake up talking like a retired gladiator.
as you heal as you take a moment and heal the child, you see his eyes flutter for a second. They burst open, at which point Brea is standing directly over that. Brea is kneeling throughout this entire process, just at the child's head, has her hands placed directly on both sides of his temples, and as his eyes flutter and flash open, you hear her mumbling something slight. There's a soft blue glow to her hands as as all of a sudden the child's eyes close again. This time, very sleepily and very heavily, and he is, from what you can tell, asleep.
Okay, quick regroup.
Rest in the corner for a little bit.
Yeah. Let's discuss where we're going from here. Because right now, we're in a tiny little alcove. Can't make a fire. We gotta stay quiet. This is not a place we should stay in for long. Now, instead of questioning this child, he is unconscious.
And apparently, while I was glowing, while I was trying to get a read on the kid, I saw all these lights, and her eyes kind of glaze over a little bit, and she was like, "There were so many lights. There were lights for each one of you. There was a light for the little one. There were lights all over the village, and there was a big giant light in the lake."
Big giant light.
The monster.
Clarissa, are you sure you saw these lights before you got hit in the head?
So huge. What? Yeah, pretty sure.
Pretty sure. I'll buy it.
So where was the concentration of small lights?
In the little shantytown village thing.
Of course.
Okay, well, we don't want to go there.
That's probably the little lights are probably the kid. If there's a big light in the lake, then the lights depict sizes, and if it's any way that we can track them, little lights are probably the small children, and that's why we're down here.
You remember, Clarissa, you remember that there was a lot of lights, roughly around, I think I said about 100, roughly like 50 to 100 lights, like small lights of consciousness that were throughout the shantytown. The one large light within the one very large light within the lake, and then there was also a few lights scattered above you as well.
Oh, yeah, and there were a handful of lights like above us, like on the ceiling, which I suppose would make sense because somebody apparently fell from up there.
Spiders.
As Clarissa is describing this, those of you that have magic and those of you that know how to extend your brain into like this kind of almost like ether and this other kind of plane of like this almost like magic road of consciousness, you start to understand, like you are able to understand like what she's talking about, and you understand that these different lights represent consciousness and different individuals that are living. What they are, though, that takes a little bit more effort to proceed and to figure out.
Brea, how long can you keep the sleep spell up?
Well, it's a new spell that that Maya taught me. I can probably keep it up for a while, at least for an hour at this point. But after that, I'd probably have to reuse it again. So
That's fine. I don't think we should stay here much longer than an hour.
Yeah, we should head back to the entrance and get a secure location.
Okay. So, what are you guys doing?
Let's head back to the entrance.
Okay.
Wait, isn't like back down the way we came?
Yeah.
What's our plan from there? I mean, once we backtrack. And are we taking the kid?
Well, presumably. Can't leave him here, can't we?
Let's take the kid, have Clarissa examine him, and we can kind of formulate a plan from there.
We could probably go back to that small alcove that we seen earlier.
Okay.
Like where we fought the droves and the spiders and found that campsite?
That's 2 hours from here.
Yeah, we're fairly deep in it now, so
Yep.
I mean we're here for the moment. I say before we move anywhere, we come up with a slightly more in-depth
We know we need
stratagem.
to we want to investigate the village, right?
Definitely.
So let's do that.
Yeah, can't we send a couple scouts in there? Stealth, get close. I mean,
We get a better look at it before we close in on it as a group.
yeah, sure. Maybe there's even some gnomes we can knock conscious while we're there.
Hey.
That was a
How
fully
long?
remote, not aimed.
How well covered are we right now?
You're fairly covered. You like the opening.
aren't we-
The opening to get into the
I
actual.
was gonna say
like,
if we're
the opening to get into the whole, like into this kind of hollowed out cave is about 4 feet wide, like 4 feet in diameter. So you guys were able to like scooch and get into that cave, but the cave itself goes back about good solid like 10 to 20 feet, roughly, and then it's about 7 feet wide.
I'm gonna say we've burned spell slots. A few of us are not severely hurt, but hurt enough.
I don't feel comfortable staying here.
Yeah,
for
but I don't
a
want
very
to.
extended period of
I
time.
don't think going into the town that even if we stealth and scout in, they know we're coming.
We definitely need more information before we do anything.
All right, let's get that information.
But
would
how-
you be able to?
Could a mural do a check and see if this is a creature's nest? Just
Yeah,
out
go for
of
it.
Curiosity.
Roll a nature check.
Well, my question is, Salix, would you be able to ritual cast that silence thing where we can talk to each other?
Yeah.
And
I can do that.
then we can wake the kid up,
Natural 20.
possibly get some more information,
Looking
maybe about a way into and out of the village.
looking about, it appears to be just appears to be a regular cave. It looks as though there's a slight stream of water that comes down into it. It's not as though it's been burrowed. There doesn't appear to be anything that there does not appear to be claw marks or anything in the cave. It appears just to be a natural forming of this area, from what you can tell.
I mentioned to the group, well, this doesn't look like an animal's home, so we do have some time here.
Hey guys, quick point of order. Are we gonna wrap up at 11 tonight?
Yeah,
'Cause I kind of.
That's the plan.
Okay.
Okay, well, since
is-
that is...
Is this a good time to do that then?
If you guys
Yeah.
want to, yeah, it is up to you.
What I'm trying to get at
where
is
you
that
guys will be proceeding from here has the potential to be very long, and I would suggest moving that to the next week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
This
there's-
seems like a
Yeah, you
Wake
guys.
up the kid and talk to him? Is that going to take more than 5 minutes?
If you guys want to wake him up and talk to them, you can. Just depends
how
on-
long. So can this be? Are we considering this a short rest? Because I could use meditation then to roll a hit
It's up
die
to
here.
It's up to you guys.
Which is what I was trying to get at before we went and scouted anything. Because if we go and scout and stumble across trouble, we're going into what potentially could be a very large and dangerous fight at like half strength.
It is up to you
Yeah.
guys.
Let's just do a short rest in this alcove.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should
So-
be all right here for a little bit of time, Tyrion.
If you want,
Yeah, that's fine by me.
No,
Uh,
if you guys would like to RP the child talking, you're more than welcome to. If
Yeah, I
if
was
you,
wondering if we could even do that in group me.
Yeah, if you want.
That
I was
way
gonna
when
say, if you want to do it in group me,
next week,
if you want to do it
right into
now,
this.
you can do it now. I don't have a problem doing either or. The child talking would probably be maybe about 5 minutes. But if you got to peace out, I understand. It makes sense. So it is up to you what you would like to do.
Yeah, let's. I vote for putting the kid in group me so we have some content for the week.
Okay. Yep,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, I vote for
I'm
that
good.
too.
And this is a short rest you guys are doing.
Yeah.
All right, so this will be about a
Yeah,
half.
at least.
This will be about a.
Yeah, I was.
This will be
I
about
need
a
at
half
least
an
30
hour.
minutes for meditation.
This will be about a half hour to 45-minute short rest that you guys are doing. So you can roll hit dice. You can roll your You can roll your hit dice. You can, if you regain spell or Kai spot, if you regain Kai or spell slots during a short rest, you can also recover those. I will say Brea is, as she is continuing to focus on this sleep spell, she is starting to look a little. Those of you with dark vision, like she's hiding it well, but she is starting to look a little tired and a little. Not quite at full strength at this point. So
Alright, so when we wake up,
Okie dokie.
when we wake up the kid and talk to him, make sure you get questions in, or otherwise miss out on it.
yep. So that'll be how it'll work. Apart from that, great session tonight, guys. You guys once again continuing to
Yeah, guys, thanks for killing those spiders.
It goes
Yeah,
deep.
once again.
Hey, did I tell you? I saw a really cool stalactite.
I'll put a.
Did you go the forest to you?
I can tell you.
Yeah, it was like an underground forest with no trees.
I can tell
Crazy.
you guys battle experience points tonight right now if you are wanting that for updated stuff. Let's see, giant spiders. You guys fought 3 of them, so
Yes.
600.
And as
It's gonna be about
a
100 per.
out of character point, Sorry I ran late tonight,
Oh, you're fine,
but
dude.
all is well, and my girlfriend will be back home tomorrow.
Wonderful.
It's
Glad to hear.
good news, dude.
So,
So 600 experience points in total is how much you guys earn from killing those spiders. So it's going to be 100 for everybody, from what I gather.
You got that, Emerald?
So everyone gets 100 experience points.
I got it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Good game. I think. How did the music sound tonight, guys?
It was good.
Good.
it was good.
I feel like the music was a little loud at times to hear you talking over the music.
Yeah, I need to mess with the levels, but
I'll message you about music. 'Cause
yeah.
I had some issues with it that I want to go over with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm still trying to make sure everything's all working in, but if there's no objections, we can continue using Discord. If people are still not as okay with it, we can go back to Skype, but I felt like the Discord wasn't as buggy as Skype normally is, but that's from my point of view.
Says the man who didn't have all of his drivers.
Yeah,
crash.
you had a lot of issues tonight, so
I don't know. It was just it crashed my drivers. That's
Right.
all.
But I was gonna say if we want to continue
I'll
to figure
tweak
that
it over the
Yeah.
week.
out. So you
My
guys.
schedule's so much more forgiving for the next 4 weeks. So
Okay, cool. Well, we'll continue. As I say, we can talk about all that stuff over group me and stuff. So just but apart from that, good session tonight, guys. So
Absolutely.
All right, guys. I gotta run, but I will talk to y'all later.
sounds good, man.
Yep,
see you
good
guys.
stuff.
Well, I'm on the West Coast. I got time to kill. Does anyone want to do some Challenge of the Elders?
It's really hot.
I will. I need to make a phone call real quick, but I.
Oh, is
I
that the
can-
new Prison of Elders thing?
Yeah,
Mhm.
this week's actually pretty challenging too. I did it today.
I gotta-
I did it today on PlayStation. It was rough.
I gotta try that.
Like it wasn't hard and difficult, but it's still just like you're sitting there and just like, holy frickety frack. There's a lot.